There are many things the world wants women to be. Pretty, perky, proper, playful, pleasing, passive, perfect. This is episode 6 of Lessons of Life and Love, Promising Young Woman. Cassie looks the way the world wants women to look. Pretty, soft, and pink. But underneath it all is a boiling pot of rage. She's unapologetic, hostile, and clinging to trauma. Her determination to right the wrongs of the past makes us question what kind of world we're living in.
It's okay. You're safe.
What are you doing?
Oh, God, your body.
What are you doing? Oh. Hey, I said, what are you doing?
What are you doing? A lesson on consent. Most of us walk through life with unconscious bias, and this story makes a point of it. Here's a sugary shell that subverts expectations and unravels in all seriousness. Cassie is a 30-year-old med school dropout who's devoted herself to trolling for would-be rapists in bars. Her life was derailed after a traumatic event at the hands of men. Now, her mission is simple: teach men the laws of consent, night after night, week after week. She uses her lolled out, fake drunk body as bait, waiting to see who wants to hook up with a barely responsive human. As they try to maneuver her out of her clothes, she snaps back, stone cold sober. That moment, that "what are you doing?" is what we as a society should wonder. Her actions act as a moral mirror, jarring them into self-reflection, if only for a moment.
It's whoa, what is this? You some kind of psycho or something?
Why'd you say that?
I just thought that you were...
Drunk?
Yeah.
Really drunk?
Fuck. Yeah.
Well, I'm not. But that's good, isn't it?
I think you should leave.
If sober suddenly isn't sexy, what does that say about us? Can we really not stand women in their right minds as intellectual beings? As Cassie puts it,
Who needs brains? They never did a girl any good.
unfortunately, despite our best hopes, it's impossible to deny the wretched reality of real life. Meaning, potential doesn't equate success. A lot in life comes down to pure luck.
The man who said I'd rather be lucky than good saw deeply into life. People are afraid to face how great a part of life is dependent on luck. It's scary to think so much is out of one's control.
A huge part of this luck is dependent on the body we're born into, with white men from solid socioeconomic backgrounds running laps around everyone else. Of course, we can consider luck in different ways. Either it inspires us to not depend on any privilege we might have, overcompensate on talent, and ignore hard work. We realize we have to push forward, invest in our natural inclinations, and pursue mastery, as Robert Greene would say. Instead of carrying around a doctorate like her classmates, misfortune pushes Cassie into submission. Her dreams dead, she nurses her grief and rebels by self-correcting unspoken societal norms. The dramatic detour in her career trajectory also highlights a societal truth. The people around her want her life to turn out a way they feel comfortable with.
We're in class together at Forest Med School. Second year neurology, Dr. Hadid's class.
Oh, yeah. Ryan, hi.
God, why are you working here? Or, I didn't mean, that was rude. I didn't.
You didn't mean, what am I doing working in a shitty coffee shop?
The onus is on women to reflect what society projects, and when it's not clean-cut, it's a threat, since society likes to tell women what they want.
You're making the assumption that I want any of it. If I wanted a boyfriend and a yoga class and a house and kids and a job my mom could brag about, I'd have done it. It would take me 10 minutes. I don't want it.
Her life has been in standstill. She seems to want to turn back time, rewrite the wrongs. Barring that, her mission is having everyone admit their complicity, guilt, and actually apologize. Living in the past is her cry against the misogyny that's so embedded in society. Unfortunately, there are certain undeniable forces she's fighting against: male privilege and moral authority. When it comes to luck, most white men win the jackpot. They're afforded not only male privilege, but also moral authority. Men get the benefit of the doubt for their potential. Sadly, not many see it that way. They use their voice to spread the status quo, their self-importance a silencer. They market themselves as meaning well.
Oh my God, you are so pretty. But why are you wearing all that makeup? Do you mind me asking? I I never understood why women wear so much makeup. It's like, you guys are so much more beautiful without it. It's like, guys don't even like that kind of stuff, you know? It's just this soul-sucking system meant to oppress women. It is fucked up.
Their quote-unquote kindness perpetuates hypocrisy that holds women back from experiencing life on their own terms. Why do some men feel it's their duty, their right, to tell women how to look, dress, be, to assume they know her wants and desires? Sadly, many don't realize how they make others feel. It's that ingrained. Others couldn't care less if they can get away with it. Which brings us to the nice guy trope. Self-described nice guy, illustrated. Buttoned up shirt, dorky smile, tells everyone he's a nice guy, never resorts to force, doesn't mind having sex with someone too wasted to keep her eyes open, much less give consent, only nice if he gets what he wants. Of course, all the men Cassie meets would never call their intended actions as rape, even to themselves. They're self-described nice guys, after all. They only want to make sure she's okay, get her home safe, and then perhaps she'll want a drink on the way back.
Here we go, m'lady.
Her trick is in seeing who takes advantage. Why are they so drawn to her when she's obliterated, alone, and as vulnerable as possible? Once she's stone cold sober, nice guy of the night recoils, violated, and begging she leave. Thought of betting a teetotal woman? Too much to bear. Her ruse forces them into a confrontation with themselves. Why are they so horrified that the person they're groping isn't blackout drunk after all? In a just world, it would inspire them to think twice and change. Still, many may easily choose to dismiss themselves as not like that or different, but that overlooks the point. Delving deeper into our blind spots, we'll find many uncomfortable truths.
What would you have me do? Ruin a young man's life every time we get an accusation like this?
So you're happy to take the boy's word for it?
I have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
When it comes to he said, she said allegations, Emerald Fennell, the writer and director of the film, says, "What's so disturbing to me is that you so often find both parties are saying the same thing happened, they just felt very differently about it. This film gives us a lesson in having an open mind. By overthrowing expectations and shocking us with its harrowing end, it reminds us to look beyond how things seem and to reconsider our tendencies of thought. It'd be too unfortunate if we all need a triggering event to jolt us into becoming more multiculturally considerate." Cassie's story is reminiscent of another covered in this series, I May Destroy You. There, we followed Arabella, a successful writer dealing with the emotional wreckage of her own sexual assault after being drugged by a stranger at a bar. Both are post-Me Too works that try to understand how to reckon with rape culture. As sexual violence disrupts their lives and derails their narratives, the two women give us different takes on processing trauma. Arabella chooses to carry on living and not merely existing in the face of such events. Cassie shows us what happens when someone actively resists living. Both are valid expressions of our culture's inability to properly address consent and violence against women. They show us closure as a slippery state, one not so easily defined. Perhaps it's not even fully attainable at all. Trauma comes with swings of mood and decision-making. It's harsh, unpredictable, and unsettling. Both women take out their pain on the patriarchal system that enabled it. Sadly, searching for redemption or revenge is a relief they'll never find. Righteous anger can crush a person as effectively as trauma can. Yet, unlike Cassie, Arabella shows us what life after trauma can look like. It becomes clear that releasing rage is not weakness, but an act of self-care. Both women show the struggle to find a way forward. Arabella seems to find a way, Cassie finds a bittersweet resolution beyond the grave. That's why we mustn't turn a blind eye. Rage can be a sanctuary and a dead end, but it doesn't need to come to that. When we see injustice and actually speak out, we create a slither less chance that a life is needlessly ruined. So call out what you see. Aren't we all tired knowing that behind every promising young man is a woman who got burned? Understand that people's instinct is often to hide and ignore anything unpleasant, but that just supports what we already know. Instead, promise comes when we pledge to point out inequality, even when it's easier to stay silent. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more videos in this series.